place to be since I was 19. You can find me, maroon and white tee. Stay grinding, you're not on my team to get behind me and stay behind. You a play behind. Man, I'm in a Mississippi state of mind, and this state of mind ain't a greater time. Take a break in line and just take what's mine. It's an our state, our place, and you can see that it's written on our face. This is our break, our race, and if you ain't with it, get out of our way. Now stand up in your seat, sling a cowbell to the beat. Got 3-6 on my cheek, my boy MB gonna rest in peace.
We just left the bin and cowbell to the wind, and this maroon and white is blending like I'm Two-Face, Harvey Dent. And my friends up in the tent, and you know they miss a sip, and we coming for your heart. So before we start, gonna put a stint in. My state of mind is a place for these dime rhymes to mint, and if you cross the line, that's the place that they're gonna be spent in. I'm looking at the Mississippi women in the district, got me grinning. You step up in the pen, man, you probably gon' get
MSU, and we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause we MSU, and we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause we MSU.
We up the star, Vegas, we got that bar, baby. And all ladies breaking hearts, they call it shark baiting. That identity, some crisis left you lifeless like your sparks. They need to decide who y'all move side, 'cause this state is ours, baby. Star crazy coming to pound, man, we drooling. You looking like a new kid in town, you gon' get bullied. You better draw back, bruh, we on the attack, bruh. We dogs of war, we coming forward, you can see that it's written on the dog tag.
And we ain't listening to what you think we gon' do, 'cause either way we coming for you. And it don't matter how we do, we gonna stay true.
'Cause that's true maroon and that's through and through.
from that M-I-S-S-I. Now steak from the stands with a plate in my hand full of cheese fries. S-S-I. Cause I beat me, you know that we believe. Hit the street when we're ready, check me eat on the Yeti, you can see that we're reppin' S-T-A-T-E till we D-I-E. Every place that we step in, so rap that in maroon and white. We're gonna rule the night, we're gonna do the fight song all the way down Main, and I ain't gonna make it back to maroon tonight. Or wherever my head lands, long as that golden edge still stands behind that glass, I don't have to ask, I know we adding who I am, we MSU.
And we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause we MSU, and we about to roll, and everywhere we go, we taking control. We MSU, and when that whistle blow, you already know that we gon' show. 'Cause we MSU.
Was nice, the party was pumping, and everybody having a ball. Until the fellas start the name calling, and the girls respond to the call. I hear a poor one shout out,
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
I see the dance people had a ball, 'cause Billy Fountains get out. Get back, Gruffy, bash Gruffy, get back, you flea infested mongrel. Gonna tell myself I man no get angry. Two 80 girls calling them K9. Hey, but they tell me, hey man, it's part of the party. You put a woman in front and a man behind. I heard a woman shout out,
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
say, a doggy is nothing if he don't push. Billy Mountains, get out. Get back, Gruffy. Bash Gruffy. Get back, you flea infested mongrel.
Well, if I am a dog, the party is on. I gotta get my groove on, got my mind, I'm gone. Do you see the rays coming from my eye? Walking through the blizzard, Digimon is breaking them down. Me and my white talk, short, dealing, gassy color. Any caliber do, I think I knew that's why they call me Pitbull. Cause I'm the man of the land, with it to me to do.
Who let the dogs out? 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 Who let the dogs out?
Welcome into the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Mississippi State and Missouri this weekend from News Park and on the campus of Mississippi State University in Starkville, Mississippi. I am glad to be broadcasting this one to you along with my partner in crime, Zach Sizemore. We will have all three games for you, and it starts with game one that is just about to get underway. We'll go through a little bit of background information you might want to know before this ball game. Mississippi State coming in at 31-10, 7-5 in the SEC, and number 16/15 in the Southeastern, or excuse me, in the NCAA. Missouri 20-22, 2-10 in the SEC. Missouri coming off 4 straight losses, got swept by Texas in last weekend's 3 games, and they lost a midweek game to Southern Illinois in Columbia. Mississippi State coming off a series loss to Tennessee, lost game 1, won game 2, and lost game 3. Missouri leading the all-time series 18-10. State is 6-7 versus Missouri at home, and Missouri won the last series last year in Columbia. Won that one 2 out of 3. Missouri has been struggling recently offensively, and that's the first topic I want to talk about with you, Zach. 217 average in conference play. How can Mississippi State attack that today, and what's been going wrong for Missouri as of late?
Well, Missouri, they've started off fast all these games. They've been able to score in the first couple innings. They outscore opponents 47-24 in the first inning, so they get those bats swinging early, and they get them hot early. But the big key to kind of keep them slow is not letting them start early, and that starts with Chafin. Raylan Chafin, the pitcher today, she's starting for us. Now, she's had a couple of poor games recently in the SEC series, but if she can do pretty well this game, strike out, get going early, then Missouri, they're going to have trouble staying in this game.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right with that. Missouri, as I mentioned, 217 average in conference play. I believe that's the worst in the SEC. Just 34 runs in 12 games played in SEC play this year. You go back to the Texas series; they were swept in that series, but I tell you what, they kept it really close. I mean, they lost game one, a score of I believe it was 8-0. Let me get my notes in order here, but they lost game one 8-0, and then lost the other two games really close. I believe game 2 was 4-3, and game 3 was 3-1. So they also get those games close, but they left a lot of people and a lot of Tigers on base. So hopefully Raylan Chafin can get it going today. She's been the Bulldogs' ace all season long there, Zach.
Yeah, as you say, get going. And the big key there, Missouri's left people on base. So if the Bulldogs can either not allow anybody on base or keep people stranded, it's going to be a good day for the Bulldogs to get back in the win column.
I think you're exactly right, Zach. I want to talk about the State offense a little bit. State has struggled a little bit offensively over the last two SEC series, compared to the first two SEC series and even the Northwestern series that was kind of stuck in the middle of the pass of the 4 SEC series that Mississippi State has played. Let's talk a little bit about the struggle for Mississippi State over the last couple of series.
Yeah, I mean, just like the Missouri offense, the Bulldogs offense tends to start hot. They get the bat swinging early, they get good connection, get on base, start scoring a lot. They outscore opponents 57-24 in the first inning. Second inning, they keep up that difference for the most part. So just like the Tigers, they get started early, and they got to get started early tonight. I believe, 21 runs scored in the last 6 SEC games. Am I correct there, Ty?
Yes, you're exactly right on that. And compared to the first 6 games that Mississippi State played in SEC play, they scored 38 runs in those first 6 series, or first six games, in the first 2 series against Auburn and Alabama. And I mentioned the Northwestern series a little bit. State scored, I believe, around – it was 28 runs. They scored 28 runs in 3 games versus Northwestern. So they started off really hot, but it's been, they've been met with tough pitching as of late.
Yeah, and when your top 3 hitters, Sacco, Barbary, and Edwards, when they go a combined 9 for 19 over an entire series, that's not something you really want to see. I mean, softball's a hard sport. It's hard to make contact, but you got to get your best hitters with some hits.
Well, that is a little behind the scenes for you. We'll go over the starting lineups for both teams. First, I'll give you Missouri, and then Zach will give you Mississippi State. So leading things off behind the plate is going to be Julia Crenshaw from Missouri. Batting second going to be the center fielder, Kaylee Linguer. Batting third going to be the right fielder, Stefania Abruscato. Batting cleanup, the designated player, Taylor Ebbs. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Madison Walker. Batting sixth, first baseman, Abby Hay. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Madison Updegrove. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Sophie Smith. And batting ninth, going to be Nevaeh Watkins in left field.
Yeah, and your batting order and starting lineup for the Bulldogs. Batting first out in center field, you got Sierra Sacco. Batting second at third base, Nadia Barbary. Batting third at shortstop, Kylie Edwards. Batting cleanup, your designated player, Lexi Sosa. Batting fifth at second base, Morgan Stiles. Batting sixth behind the plate is Jessie Blaine. Seventh out in left field, Morgan Bernardini. Batting eighth, your first baseman, Riley Hull. And batting last in the lineup is your right fielder, Kiara Sells.
And then on the mound for Mississippi State in today's ball game, just talked about it, Raylan Chafin, a senior out of Bossier City, Louisiana, transfer from Louisiana State University, 2.67 ERA, 16-6 on the year, 29 appearances, 19 games started, 12 complete games, has gone 120 in 2/3 innings, 55 runs, 46 earned runs, 35 walks, 138 strikeouts. Hitters are 245 against the senior out of Bossier City, Louisiana.
Yeah, she's among the nation's top 25 in wins with 16, 10th in strikeouts with 138, as you said, and 21st in complete games with 12.
So we are just about set to get underway here. 6:02 in Starkville, Mississippi, and the first pitch from Chafin going to miss inside to the leadoff hitter, Julia Crenshaw. So a 1-0 count on Crenshaw. Playing behind the plate, the best average on this team with 390. 1-0 is in there for a called strike one on the Tiger catcher.
Yeah, the past 3 games, she's kind of been conservative at the plate, not really doing much. Recorded 2 RBIs on Wednesday against Southern Illinois.
So here's the 1-1 from Chafin. That one lined down the line, left field line, and foul. So that'll put it a 2-strike count on Crenshaw. She's a 5'9" senior out of O'Fallon, Missouri. Danielle Blackston on this team as well is also from O'Fallon, Missouri, in the same high school, Fort Zumwalt West High School over there in O'Fallon, Missouri. The Show Me State. Now, Chafin shows her a strikeout right there for the first at-bat of the ball game. An off-speed pitch there, Zach. That'll be out number 1.
Yeah, just perfect. She sped her up with some of those fastball pitches before and then throws an off-speed to just way early, and you could tell she knew it as soon as she swung.
So now stepping in going to be Kaylee Linger, a .213 hitter on the year, playing center field today for Missouri. She fouls this one up, right, and out of play. We mentioned this Missouri team struggling offensively, a .217 batting average, as this one laid down right in front of the circle. Chafin will come right in front of the circle, grab it, and throw it to Morgan Stiles covering first base, and that'll be out number 2. So quick work of the first 2 batters of the inning for Missouri.
Yeah, very quick. Chafin able to react fast, and softball's a short field, so you've got to react fast and get the throw over in time. Otherwise, they're safe 90% of the time.
So Stefania Abrascato, batting now for the Tigers. She takes the first pitch for a called strike one. Abrascato, 42 games played. That's all the games that Missouri has played in this year, and has started 41 of them. A .257 average, 29 hits. She checks swings and fouls this one over the Mississippi State dugout, and that'll make the count 0-2.
Wish she had kept the bat right where it was. Instead, she thought it was going to catch the top corner, but it rised and too late. Fouled off for strike 2.
So Chafin looking to go 1-2-3, a strikeout of Crenshaw, and a ground out of Linger. The 0-2 misses in the dirt. Chafin trying to go with off speed right there.
Yeah, just a bit of an early release there. Release early, it's going to nail the dirt, especially with short distance between pitcher circle and the plate.
Well, there's some clouds a little bit earlier in the afternoon. It's turned out to be a beautiful day here in Starkville. Now this one's sent out to left field. Bernardini raging over, and she will make the grab for out number 3. Fantastic grab, Zach, there in left field.
Oh, it was amazing. It was almost just foul enough that it was going to go over the net and go into the bullpen, but stayed fair, and she did a good job of just tracking it the entire way and not being afraid to take a hit against the wall right there.
Yeah, good job of staying with it for sure. So that'll be 1-2-3 inning for Mississippi State pitcher Raylan Chafin. It'll be a Crenshaw strikeout, Linger ground out, and a Abrascato foul out to left field. Morgan Bernardini making that catch. It'll be 1-2-3 due up for State. We're going to stay here, no break this half inning. I'll talk to you a little bit about the starting pitcher today for the Missouri Tigers, Sierra Harrison. Harrison, a 5'2" junior out of Lee's Summit, Missouri, another native of the Show Me State. Lee's Summit North High School, a 3.50 ERA on the season, 9 wins on the season. That's the most on this team. 6 losses, 21 appearances, 18 games started, 4 complete games, 88 innings pitched, 86 hits, 52 runs, 44 of those being earned, 28 walks, 83 strikeouts, which is tied with Marissa McCann on this team for first. Opponents are .248 against the junior right-hander.
Yeah, going back to what you were saying about earlier, Ty, before the end of the top of the first, it is a gorgeous day out here. It's about 66 degrees, feels like 61. So a bit cooler since April's gotten started. Normally it's been up in the 70s, 80s, but pretty cool here, and it's gorgeous. We still got about an hour left of the sun, and it's a beautiful day for some Bulldog softball.
Yeah, it is. And the weekend forecast is set to keep it beautiful, and that's nice after, had the storms coming in last weekend. And it's been crazy, too, because if the weekend stays the way it should, this would be I believe, the first, or it's the first in a while series that State has not played a doubleheader.
Yeah, you're right there. I believe it's been, 4 in a row now?
Yeah, I think it's been 4 in a row.
SEC play?
First pitch to Sierra Sacco misses up from Harrison for ball 1.
Yeah, it's been 4 consecutive weekends. It's the first time the Lady Bulldogs have played a doubleheader in 3 SEC series in a single season since 2018 when they played Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Florida.
Yeah, I mean, it's felt like it's been a doubleheader every weekend this season, so hopefully the forecast stays clear and we can play 3 in 3 days. The 1-0 from Harrison in for a called strike 1, so 1-1 count. On the leadoff hitter for State, batting .487 this season. That's 10th in the nation as she fouls the 1-1 back to the screen. 10th in the nation, second in the Southeastern Conference. She has just been all around incredible. A senior out of Marrero, Louisiana, was at Louisiana Tech for 2 years now, in her second year here at Mississippi State.
Yeah, most would say she's the best hitter on the Bulldog team, and I agree with them.
She pulls one over to the second baseman, Smith, and Sacco not able to run it out. State fans thought she did, but Smith made the play over to Hay. Now Samantha Ricketts will come out of the dugout, and we might get a review for this one on the first action of the game for the Mississippi State offense.
Yeah, it looks like we will. She looked over to Coach on the third base.
Yeah, Coach Bratton.
Coach Bratton, yeah. And he's like, she looks safe to me, and she trusts her assistant coaches a lot. I mean, she's got phenomenal coaching staff around her. We talked a bit about this in the pregame, but you got Zach Shaw. He was captain of the USA men's national team at the 2024 WBSC Men's World Cup group stage, and is expected to be on the squad for this year's group final or cup final stage. Former Bulldog Mia Davidson, she's played nationally, and Raylan Chafin, we've said that name a ton. She's also played nationally before she came here to State.
Yes, she has, and you were talking about the coaching staff. Coach Tyler Bratton's been here for a while. He's been great for Mississippi State. You talk about Samantha Ricketts, who has changed the program here at Mississippi State, and here is the call from our umpires. Play is changed. Sacco safe at first base with an infield hit, and Mississippi State fans will ring the cowbells in approval of that.
Yeah, that was one of the closest ones I've seen. I've seen quite a few, but that was just there. She barely beats it by an inch or two.
Yeah, beat it by around maybe a half a step. So that'll bring in Nadia Barbary, Bulldog third baseman, batting .367 on the season. She fouls the first one back at the top of the net. Watch out, Nadia. That one almost caromed back and hit her. Well, she just acted like that didn't even happen. I'd be a little self-aware if that just happened to me.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep an eye out, but that's why they wear helmets, Ty.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Still, though, it'd be scary.
Yes, it is. Those softballs aren't as soft as they sound.
Good one there, Zach. Here's the 0-1 to Barbary. Misses outside and a little bit high for ball 1.
I appreciate it, Ty. I got a feeling for Connor Davis. He's the one that normally cracks the jokes, and he's unable to call softball with us today, but got to fill in.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. I guess so. Old Connor, old jokester. So a 1-1 count on Barbary with Sacco at first base. This one misses just off the inside corner for ball 2. So a 2-1 count on Barbary. And Sacco standing at first base. She led off the inning with an infield single. Average up now to 492 for her, close to that 500 mark. And now Barbary fouls this one back, evens the count up again. Now it's at 2-2.
Going back to what we were talking about, we were getting into Coach Ricketts, a bit about her. She was named head softball coach in 2019, and she hasn't looked back since she took over the reins here in Starkville. Just unprecedented, the success she's had. Fastest coach to get to 20 wins. It only took her 23 games. Just fabulous job she's done in Starkville.
Now Barbary sends this one over the head of Smith in the right center field. It gets all the way to the wall. Sacco rounding second, now rounding third. She'll try and score. Here comes the cutoff throw to home. It's no good. Barbary advanced to second on the hit, and now she'll advance to third on the wild throw. And that's going to be an RBI double to start off the top half, or the bottom half of the first for Mississippi State.
That was a matter of pure centimeters, I believe. Just right off the top of the glove of the second baseman for the Tigers out of Missouri. Falls into shallow right field, rolls all the way back to the wall, and not in time. Good base running there by Sacco, and good coaching there by Tyler Bratton at third to send her home.
Now Sacco's 51st run on the season. Coming into the series, she was 6th in the nation in runs scored. So she's been great. And here comes Kylie Edwards with Nadia Barbary at third base. Now, I mean, to me, she's been one of the hottest players for Mississippi State over the last couple of series, and that's why she's moved up to that 3 spot in the order, Zach.
Yes, she has.
Now she sends this one over to the third baseman, Walker. She makes 2 steps and after a look back to third, and will throw out Kylie Edwards on the first pitch of the at-bat.
Not terrible at bat, but not the greatest contact either. But yeah, going back to Sacco, the Bulldogs are 58-8 when she scored since the start of last year. So started 2024. So they win today, they'll be 59-8.
Yeah, I say that'd be pretty good odds. You know, if you just are tuning in, Sacco with a run, putting State up 1-0. Lexi Sosa stepping in now. She takes the first pitch high for ball 1, but Sacco scoring a run. State before that, 58-8 is what you said, 58-9?
58-8, and should they win or lose, it will bump up the winner
so
loss for that.
58-8, I'd say that's pretty good odds for Mississippi State today.
Yes, it is, and the magic number is 5 or more runs.
5 or more, yeah.
5 or more runs, 75 of their 93 wins over the past 3 seasons, and they are 145-15 under Coach Ricketts with scoring at least 5.
Pretty good odds right there. The 0-1 missed. It counts now 1-1, and now this one will hit the outside corner as well. And Sosa looking at the dugout, a little confused on that one. The count will ride to 1-2 now. Sosa's been struggling a little bit as of late, and struggling in SEC play. Only 4 for 29 at the plate in SEC play. And this one misses, evens count up 2-2.
You know what I just realized, Ty?
What's that?
Nadia Barbary just tied her single-season career high in hits.
Well, there we go right there. Get her one more of this series, and she'll break her own record.
Yeah, and heading into that at-bat she had just a couple minutes ago, she was batting .405 with runners on base, which was second on the team.
Yeah, she's really heated up as we've gotten into SEC play. Sosa fouls the 2-2 back to the netting, and so we will do the 2-2 again. Wind blowing in a little bit from center field. Flags blowing towards us here in the press box at News Park. This pitch to Sosa almost hit her, kind of moved her feet out of the way, and makes the count full now, 3-2. 1 out in the inning, and Nadia Barbary at third base after an RBI double that scored Sierra Sacco. She then advanced on a wild throw. Sosa does a good job spoiling that one, waits on the off-speed pitch and fouls it back.
Yeah, Sosa just probably one of the better hitters on the team, but not only can she bat, but she can pitch.
Yeah, she can pitch as well. She, pitched a couple of innings in the Tennessee series. Has pitched a good bit of the season this year. Leads the team in home runs, and a home run here would certainly be good, as State could at least threaten with a 3 spot. Now she fouls the 3-2 back to the screen. So we were going to do the full count pitch again from Harrison.
Yeah, a homer would definitely do good to keeping the bats hot to start off this game.
So Harrison looks at her wristband now with a ball at her right shoulder and throws a strikeout to Lexi Sosa. Good pitch, good at bat from Lexi Sosa, just a better pitch right there, kind of in the high and outside corner of the zone, and gets Sosa swinging.
Yeah, she saw it, just missed a bit under it right there, but she'll be fine. She'll bounce back.
So 2 outs in the inning now with a runner at third for State. They lead at 1-0, and Morgan Stiles will step in for the Bulldogs. She sends this one to right field, ranging over is Abrascato, and she makes the play to her left for out number 3. State does not go without a run, though. They go 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error from Missouri, and State leaves Nadia Barbary at third base. We're going to take just a short break and be back for the top half of the second. Mississippi State 1, Missouri 0. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network.
The Mac, get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up, first shot, come strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy yet. Glad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music, I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my INDEPEN.
Back here on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network, we are moving to the top half of the second inning. Mississippi State leading the Missouri Tigers out of Columbia, Missouri 1-0. Raylan Chafin still back in the circle for Mississippi State. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 due up for Missouri. That's Ebbs, Walker, and Hay.
Yeah, that was a good bottom of the first for the Bulldogs. They got the bat swinging early, getting hot early, and keeping Missouri from getting any hits or any runs scored. And by far, the first inning is the best for the Tigers. So if the first inning said anything, we could be in for a great day as a Bulldog fan.
So we are waiting, I guess, TV to get underway here as home plate umpire Jill Poole now officially going to step into the, I guess, the box, the catcher's box, umpire's box, whatever you want to call it, right behind the plate. And the first pitch to Ebbs is going to be in there for a called strike 1.
Good placement there, catches just the edge of the outside zone for strike 1.
Ebbs, the designated player for Missouri, a senior out of Kaiser, Oregon. She swings big and misses for strike 2. Ebbs was at Kentucky her freshman, sophomore, and junior years. Has been at Kentucky for the past 3 years. Played 146 games for the Wildcats. Started 119 of those, a .272 average with 90 hits over those 3 years in Lexington. Now the pitch from Chafin, 0-2 pitch, misses just outside for ball 1.
Yeah, even though she's no stranger to the SEC, she's a far away from home, originally from Kaiser, Oregon. So
yeah, definitely. That's a far way, I would say.
Maybe just a bit. I mean, a hop, skip, and a jump away.
But is now playing her 4th season in the Southeastern Conference. Now, a nice play made by Chafin as Ebbs rounded that one just to the left of the glove of Chafin. She throws it over to first for out number 1.
That took kind of a weird bounce. It came off the bat pretty straight and then maybe hit a mound of dirt or something and bounced awkwardly, but Chafin able to snag that, as you said, and get it over in time for out number 1.
So now standing in going to be Madison Walker, one of 2 Missouri players on this team this year to start and play in all 42 ball games. She sends this one foul and out of play to the right.
Yeah, she crushed her 14th home run of the season in the series final against Texas to knot it up 1-1. And as we mentioned in the pregame, the last 2 games of that series were pretty tight games. It's just a couple of hits go their way, and they upset the number 1 team in the nation.
Yeah, 4-3 loss in Game 2 versus Texas, and a 3-1 loss in 8 against, or I believe, was that in 8 in the first game, or was it in 8 in the second game? Either way, though, Madison Walker swings for a strike 2. Let me look at it right here. I got it right here. Game 3 went final in 8 innings, a 3-1 loss, and Game 2 was a 4-3 loss in 7. This one popped up just in foul territory in front of the state dugout, and it just drops between Barbary and Blaine. Nobody can get it. A tough area to make a catch right there, right in front of the state dugout.
It's very tough. It's just kind of in that gray zone between the two, and they both want to go for it, but they don't want to run into their own player, risk injury. As you've seen all around softball in the nation, injury, and I mean sports in general, injuries are tragic to win games.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this one grounded over to Morgan Bernardini. She makes the play to her left with a throw over to Hull at first base for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down, 5 up, 5 down for the ball game so far for Raylan Chafin.
I think you mean Morgan Stiles, Ty.
Who did I say?
Morgan Bernardini. She's out in left
Whoops.
field.
Yeah,
It's all right.
Morgan Stiles with the play. Good play. Good play, Mo Stiles over there at second base.
Hey, there we go. You gotta get some puns in.
I try. So now Hay going to step in. Abby Hay, first baseman. She takes the first pitch for ball 1. That one missed just a bit high. But 2 ground outs in this inning. Have got now 2 outs on the board, and Missouri's offense trying to come alive here. Chafin's pitch misses just high out of the zone for ball 2, so a 2-ball count on the Missouri Tiger first baseman, wearing number 36 in that right-handed batter's box.
36. That's not a number you see very often in softball.
Yeah, well, they got one that wears number 99, too.
I feel like I see 99 more than 36.
I guess that's a good, yeah. Well, you would be more inclined to see 99, yeah.
A lot of pitchers tend to wear 99.
Yeah, they got Kaylee Linger wears
Yeah.
99, who batted earlier.
Yeah.
Now the 2-0 in there for strike 1, so a 2-1 count on Abby Hay. A 175 average this season. She sends one over the head of Morgan Stiles in the short right center field for a single. First hit of the ball game for the Tigers.
I thought Stiles was going to lay out and styling out there to end the top of the second, but just a tad bit too high for her.
I don't know if you can hear Zach on the broadcast, but the way he talks, you can tell that he's smiling when he says that, as he thought that was a funny pun. I guess maybe our audience thought it was a funny pun.
Hey,
Hope so.
puns make the world go round.
I guess you tell yourself that, Zach. So now Madison Updegrove will step in. She takes the first pitch for a call. It's strike 1. Updegrove, a freshman out of Columbia, Missouri. So playing for her hometown team in the Missouri Tigers. Now fouls the 0-1 back for strike 2. 212 average on the season for Updegrove. She had a pretty good high school career. She holds a Missouri State high school record for home runs with 48. So is the state record holder in home runs in the Show Me State.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Won a state title as well.
Wish I won one of those.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Yeah, no, but speaking of her, she was named to Softball America's freshman watch list along with teammate Watkins. That is
Nevaeh Watkins. Yeah.
Yes.
Now the 1-2 going to miss. So now the count even at 2-2. A deuce is on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Abby Hay at first after a 2-out single in the shallow right center field. Here's a 2-2 from Chafin. Misses high. They'll appeal to first base umpire Shane Jackson, and he will say she did not go. So a full count. Missouri trying to work with 2 outs now, trailing Mississippi State by 1 run. 1-0 our score. Here's the full count pitch with 2 outs from Raylan Chafin. Did it catch the inside corner? It did not. I think it got the inside corner, but I think it was just too low in the zone there.
Maybe just a bit, but It's kind of hard to tell from us up here. We don't have one of those fancy little TVs or
Yeah.
screens that show us, the pitch zone, so we can't be like, yeah, it was for sure missed or whatever. But whatever Jill Poole says behind home plate, that's what goes here.
So that'll bring up Sophie Smith, another freshman on this Missouri roster. She takes the first pitch low and inside for ball one. So runners at first and second for the Tigers. 2 outs in the inning. Hay at second, Updegrove at first after a 2-out walk. Smith went 0 for 3 in Missouri's midweek loss to the Southern Illinois Salukis. And this one in there for strike one evens the count up, 1-1.
Yeah, sped her up there, and Smith was just a tad bit too late, expecting something off speed, but didn't get that right there.
Smith, as I mentioned, 0 for 3 in that Southern Illinois game, 1 for 8 in the Texas series as she fouls this one back to the screen. 1-2 the count now, but 1 for 8 and 4 strikeouts for Smith in that Texas series. Really good pitching by the fantastic pitcher for Texas, Tegan Cavan, who pitched well against Mississippi State here at News Park.
Yeah, she did. She was phenomenal for the Longhorns. I mean,
This pitch will just miss outside. A little oohs and ahs from the Bulldog faithful here. Just missed outside, so that'll even the count up. Deuces on the board, 2-2 with 2 outs.
they had some nice movement on that.
Yeah, it did. A little bit of an all-speed pitch right there.
Yeah, but as I was saying, I think she was the reason the Longhorns were able to climb back after that Game 1 loss to the Bulldogs and win
Yeah,
the
now-
series.
This one sent into foul territory, and Kylie Edwards going to range over to the left side and make the grab for out number 3. Back-to-back innings with a foul out to in the inning. Missouri threatened a little bit in that top half of the second with 2 outs. Had a single by Hay and a walk by Updegrove to get a runner in scoring position, but unable to take advantage of the 2-out success there, Zach.
Yeah, you're right. And I think Kylie Edwards, she does something every game that kind of makes you just go, wow. And I think right there wasn't as wow-worthy as, some of her other stuff, but it was still pretty wow.
Yeah, I mean, you make a play ranging over in foul territory, past third base. That's a good play, and it technically is supposed to be the shortstop's ball, but that is a long run to make, and, she made that play, and she has been great. You mentioned the great plays she's had. She is now 4th among all Mississippi State shortstops in program history with 17 double plays, and she's turned, I believe, 7 this season, and has just made a bunch of fantastic plays for State, playing that 6th spot in the shortstop position.
Jeez, that's insane, Ty. Do you think you can make a play like her?
At like that? No, I fear I'm a little too slow for that. That's why I play corner infield and not middle.
Ah,
infield.
okay, makes sense.
I don't know about that, but
Could you hit as well as she could?
no, I don't talk about my average senior year. We won't talk about that.
Oh, okay.
That-
Does that hit a sore spot?
Don't worry, it's bad. Yeah, just don't worry about it. We're calling a softball game. Let's worry about softball.
Yeah, that's definitely a sore spot.
But we're moving back. We're moving now to the bottom half of the second. Mississippi State with a 1-0 lead over Missouri. Sierra Harrison still out in the circle for the Tigers. Gave up 1 run on 2 hits in that inning, in that bottom half of the first, and she'll face the 6, 7, 8 hitters for State. It'll be Jessie Blaine, senior catcher for Mississippi State.
One thing that constantly amazes me and sometimes confuses me, I didn't grow up playing baseball or watching softball, but they juggle around that batting order quite a bit. She used to be batting in the 3-hole, but now she's batting, the 6th?
Yeah, she's batting 6th now. Yeah, the State's moved it around a little bit. Kiara Sells was batting 3rd, and, she's now the last spot in the order at number 9. Kylie Edwards was in the 6th spot, and she's batting 3rd. So State's kind of moved that lineup around to kind of, see what works in SEC play. Now, the first pitch to Blaine misses for ball 1, so a 1-0 count to the Bulldog senior out of Pike Road, Alabama.
Yeah, but despite all that shuffling around, what stayed constant is your leadoff and your cleanup.
Yeah, exactly. definitely Sierra Sacco in the 2 spot, too. Barbary
Yeah,
stayed
that's
in that
true.
2 spot all season. Now, the 1-0 was a strike, so now the count 1-1. Nobody out in the inning. And this one misses low and in for ball 2. 2-1 to count.
I really like that Sanko Barbary 1-2 sort of punch. You know, Sanko either gets on base or hits one out of here a lot of the times, and then Barbary, she either finishes it off or hits a back-to-back homer.
Yeah, Blaine, did well, I would say, as this off-speed pitch going to catch the zone for strike 2, evens the count up. But she did fine against Tennessee, a 1-for-5 series, had 2 RBIs in that series, also walked. So 33% of the time she reached base, and she's got a 337 average now and a pretty good OBP of 453. Here's a 2-2 sent into shallow right, ranging over is Smith, ranging in is Abrascato, and they will make the play. I believe that was Smith in foul territory over in right field, makes a play for out number 1.
Yeah, Smith grabbed that, but let me make sure I get this right. Abrascato. Abrascato.
Yeah, like
abracadabra. Yeah.
yeah.
read my mind, Ty.
Great minds think alike. Morgan Bernardini now up in the 7th spot for Mississippi State, a 339 average on the season. First pitch to her, going to miss for ball 1. Some other Bulldog action tonight. Mississippi State baseball playing over in Tuscaloosa against Alabama. That game scoreless in the top half of the first. And then both Mississippi State men's and women's tennis active tonight as well. That men's tennis squad ranked in the top 20 in the nation.
That men's tennis squad is something else, let me tell you that.
Yeah, they've been pretty good this year. 1-0, a strike, so the count 1-1. And here is the 1-1 from Harrison. This one's sent into right center field, ranging back is Abrascato, and she'll make the play with her heels on the warning track for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down here. And good job by Harrison so far against this bottom half of the Bulldog order.
Yeah, when you have a hit like that, that's when you wish the wind was blowing towards the outfield to help carry it a bit. While some of the shorter hits that we've seen in the first inning, that wind blowing in holds it up just enough so the outfielders can't grab it.
Yeah, especially like that. Sorry for
interrupting
you. Especially like that Abby Hasing.
Yeah.
Kind of made that one die for the right fielder Sells, and she couldn't make a play on it. Neither could Styles.
Yeah, that perfect zone right there.
So Hull stepping in, and she takes the first pitch for a ball. Hull has struggled in SEC play. 2 for 24 in 12 games played for Mississippi State in the SEC. Now, the first pitch was a strike, but this one is a ball, so that evens the count up 1-1 now.
Yeah, Hull's done a pretty solid job this season of getting on base as well. Pretty solid hitter for the Bulldogs, batting 8th.
This one sent in the left field, but foul. So it'll be 1-2. Yeah, she did better in the non-conference. She just really struggled here in conference play. Went 0 for 5 in the series against Tennessee. She's just looking to get hot, and maybe this series is a series for her to get hot and have a better second half of the SEC season. Here's the 1-2, misses high and in for ball 2.
That was real close to skimming the nose.
Yeah, that was. I'm sure that was a little scary. But Hull, had a good season last year. Played 50 games. She was mainly a defensive replacement, and this one misses for a ball, so the count 3-2. But, in her limited at-bats, she was .333, so had a good season, but has mainly been a low 200s hitter for her entire career. Played a lot of ball games in 22 and 23. Now, Hull fouls this one. It'll get out of play just over the Bulldog dugout.
That took a thud, but I think you're right. She's not the greatest of batters, but she is solid over there at first base.
Sorry to interrupt you, but she's been fantastic at first base, and that's why she really is going to stay in the lineup, is because of her defensive presence there for the Bulldogs. She draws a walk, and that'll be a 2-out walk for Harrison, the 10th walk drawn on the season for Riley Hull, and that'll bring up the bottom half of the order in Kiara Sells.
Yeah, just good vision there, and good just being calm, cool, collected there in the box, and knowing she doesn't need to force a swing there at all.
2 outs in the inning with Hull at first base. State still with a 1-0 lead, and Sells batting. This one misses high and out to Sells. Crenshaw gave a little look over to first base, but to no avail. Didn't throw it over.
Yeah, Hull's stolen 7 bases on the season. Hasn't been caught at all. I don't know, 7 attempts.
Scored 20 runs to pair with those 7 stolen bases. This one misses off the inside corner for ball 2. That one was close right there. Just missed that inside corner.
Yeah, and Hay over there at first base for the Tigers, she wanted that ball to tag Hull out, but didn't get it from Crenshaw.
Sells sends this one foul. Heads up camera guy over the first base dugout. And that'll travel and trickle into the Missouri dugout for strike 1. Sells, a junior out of Jasper, Texas, Jasper High School. Also has a sister on this team in Kalani, a freshman. She's getting to play a lot this year. Spent her last 2 seasons here at State really coming off the bench. Now see, she sends this one in the right field. Back, and gone. Home run for Kiara Sells. That one was blasted in the right field, Zach, and it gives the Bulldogs a 3-0 lead.
I think that's why they like having her batting in the 9-hole, batting the last hitter there in the order, because she goes and does stuff like that. She'll see all the rest of her teammates bat, and then she'll go up and blast one over the wall or get on base, driving some runs. And that was just a great hit on her part. Saw it the entire way, good connection, and that was... I'm impressed.
I mean, yeah, that one was smoked in the right field. It put State up 3-0. But yeah, I can agree with that. Just it's good to have her in the bottom of the order. She's a 317 hitter, but an OBP of 467, so she gets on base and she leads the team in hit by pitches. I believe she's around 2nd in the SEC in hit by pitches. Actually, 1st in the SEC and 3rd in the country. So it's good for her to round out the order and lead back up to your dangerous hitter who's up right now, and Sierra Sacco. She takes the first pitch for ball 1.
Yeah, not just your dangerous, probably your most dangerous hitter, but as well, the Bulldogs have had a lot of success over pretty much just since the start of SEC play, with there being 2 outs, just doing damage and scoring runs.
And the 1-0 will catch the zone for strike 2. So a 1-1 count. State has done a lot of their damage in the first 2 innings. And 3 runs here so far in the first 2 for Mississippi State. Sacco going to keep the inning alive with the ball lined in the right field for her second base hit of the ball game. Sacco's average ever increasing, now going to inch closer to that 500 spot. And that'll bring up her third baseman teammate in Nadia Barbary.
Yeah, you said they've done a really good job in the first 2 innings of scoring. They've outscored opponents 105 to 47 runs in the first 2 innings combined heading into this game.
Pretty good right there. Yeah, State doing a lot of their damage early. And here's Nadia Barbary. Was credited with the first RBI of the ball game and that double in the right center field in the first. She takes the first pitch for a strike.
Yeah, now batting .412 with runners on base.
A 372 average on the season. And she had a good series against Tennessee. Tough pitching to face in that Tennessee series. She fouls this one back and out of the ballpark. But a 3-for-7 series with a home run in that series against Tennessee. And that home run was the back half of a back-to-back home run. Sacco hit one in that game 2, and then Barbary hit one in game 2.
And I mean,
Zach, this one popped and out of play, so it'll be strike 2 and an 0-2 count on the Bulldog third baseman.
And not just some tough pitching, but some tough teams having to play the number 1 team in Texas and then another top, 5 or top 10?
Tennessee in the top. They were number 7.
7 at the time?
7 at the time, so
okay.
they're near the top 5 for sure.
So back-to-back 2 top 10 team series.
2 of the best teams in the SEC.
Yes, agreed. Besides Oklahoma, who they have next.
Barbary sends this one into right, and a fantastic catch by Abriscato over her left shoulder, kind of diving back towards the wall. Didn't fully dive, but putting her body in the air towards the wall and makes the catch for out number 3. State does damage, though, in this bottom half of the second. They score 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base.
You ready for this, Ty?
What's that?
Abriscotti using a little abracadabra there.
All right. We might need to go to a break. We're going to go to a break, and I'm going to have a talk with Zach about that one. Mississippi State 3, Missouri 0. We will go to the the top half of the third inning, and Raylan Chafin still out in the circle for your Bulldogs. You're listening to Mississippi State softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network.
DENT shit hustling, chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track busting. Halfway across that city with the back crush shit. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to the people, spread it across the country.
Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
Back here on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network, Mississippi State 3, Missouri 0. As we go to the top half of the third, it's 9-1-2 due up for the Tigers. That's Watkins, Crenshaw, and Linger. Nevaeh Watkins will be up for Mississippi State, for Missouri, rather. She's a freshman, one of the 3 in this order. All 3 freshmen are the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Freshman out of Rowlett, Texas. And she's going to step in and bat here in the bottom half of the order. Now, she only had 1 AB in the Texas series. Went 0 for 1 with a strikeout in that series. She shows bunt, pulls back, but it's a called strike. But went 0 for 1 in that series, but played and started for Missouri in the Southern Illinois loss. Went 0 for 3, though, in that one. So 0 for 4 in her last couple of appearances. She swings and fouls this one back to Blaine for strike 2.
That's got to hurt. A foul straight into your thigh. Ugh.
Yeah, thigh, leg. Yeah, that hurts. It spot where the gear doesn't protect right there. And she'll walk it off. Home plate umpire Jill Poole will give her time, and we'll get back to play here in just a moment. Jill Poole behind the plate, Shane Jackson at first base, and Donald Brown at third. That's your umpire crew for the weekend. Here's a 2-strike pitch. Misses high, and the count is 1-2.
Yeah, Donald Brown, that's a name you hear a lot here at News Park. He's umped a lot of games to start SEC play.
So a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Watkins sends this one into left field. Ranging in is Bernardini, and she'll make the grab for out number 1. So that'll retire the 9-hole hitter from Missouri and bring back the top half of the order in Julia Crenshaw. Crenshaw been really good this year. A .390 average. Started all 42 games. 48 hits. That leads the team. She has been fantastic. A senior for the Tigers. She takes the first pitch for a called strike 1.
Yeah, back in the first, she struck out, and Chafin will look to keep that trend up, especially against Crenshaw, who I would say is probably the Tigers' best hitter. Would that be safe to say, Ty?
I would not say probably. I would say most definitely. Now, she fouls this one over to the left, ranging over a couple of the Bulldogs. Play going to be not made. It's out of the ballpark. That'll be strike 2. But, yeah, she is the best hitter on this team. She's batting .390. There's no Tiger batting over 300 in the lineup today. Every single Tiger is batting under 200, batting under 300. Now, she's actually at 387 out of that strikeout, was 390 coming into the series, so she's by far the best batter on this team, a senior out of O'Fallon, Missouri. She looks at this pitch high for ball one to make the count 1-2, but Crenshaw was a highly touted recruit when she came out of high school a while ago, but last year as a junior, played in 64 games, all the games. She sends this one into shallow center, ranging into Sacco. She'll make the grab for out number 2. That'll retire Crenshaw. Now I will finish this point. She in 64 games played, her average was 207, and now she's at just over 380, a 384 average. She's had a fantastic senior season for Missouri. Now, stepping in is going to be the center fielder, Kaylee Linger. She's 0 for 1 today with a ground out to Raylan Chafin. She takes the first pitch for a ball here, 1-0 the count. 2 outs in the inning, State with a 3-0 lead in the top half of the third.
Yeah, Chafin and the rest of the Bulldog defense doing a good job of forcing Missouri to keep the bat on their shoulders because of just mixing up the pitches and forcing them to forcing bad contact there by the Tiger hitters.
Zach said geez because that one was close to our booth here in the press box, so Zach, I would have expected you to make a play there.
I mean, I would, but we're kind of hard for me to make a diving grab while I'm talking and over this table and
you do it.
the nice ladies in front of us.
Do what you got to do. Make a play. 1-1 the count now. A swing and a miss from Linger, so 1-2 the count now on the Tiger Junior, wearing number 99. Mentioned that earlier. Here is the 1-2. Just misses the outside corner. State fans thought that was strike 3, but it will not catch the outside corner. So 2-2 the count. Deuces on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs.
Good pitch, but just tiny bit outside, as you said. Bit better placement, and that's strike 3.
Strike. Bit better play. Yeah, but 2-2 fouled by Linger off the net, so we'll do it again. A good challenge pitch there from Chafin. Did a better job of spoiling that one by Linger. So here is the 2-2. 42 pitches so far thrown by Rayla Chafin. Now she'll get into the hundreds easily. Here's an off-speed, and that one's definitely in the zone. Strike 3, the second strikeout of the evening for the Bulldogs senior, right-hander of Mississippi State. We'll head to the bottom half of the third with a 3-0 lead. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on for Missouri. It was a fly-out, strikeout in that inning, and the Tigers go 1-2-3 once again. We'll move to the bottom half of the third, take a short break. Mississippi State 3, Missouri 0. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network.
Nah, can I kick it? Thank you. Yeah, I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me. Go hard like I got an 808 in my heartbeat. And I'm eating at the beat like it gave a little speed to a great white shark on Shark Week. Raw, time to go up, gone. Deuces goodbye. I got a world to see. And my girl, she wanna see Rome. Caesar make you a believer. Nah, I never ever did it for a throne. That validation comes from giving it back to the people. Now sing this song and it goes like, raise those hands, this is our party. We came here to live life like nobody was watching. I got my city right behind me. If I fall, they got me. Learn from that failure, gain humility, and then we keep marching.
Can we go back? This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling.
Back here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network, Mississippi State 3, Missouri 0. We are moving to the bottom half of the third. State with 3, 4, and 5 up in the order. Kylie Edwards, Lexi Sosa, Morgan Stiles, and Sierra Harrison still out in the circle for MIZ. You got to finish it.
What?
ZOU. That's their little thing they like to do.
Oh, I'm not a Missouri fan, Ty. I don't know that.
You got to know SEC knowledge. What are we doing?
I grew up a Pac-12 fan, Ty.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Mr. Utah Ute over here.
Heck yeah.
Remember when Mississippi State men's basketball beat Utah this year?
Hey, I was at that game.
I know.
Guess
you
what?
were.
I was rooting for State.
Yeah. Still stings, though, don't it?
Not really. I mean,
say
either
it
way, I'd
stings.
be like, heck yeah.
We'll say it stings. We'll say it stings for the
Uh-huh.
sake of the dogs. All right.
Okay. You just want to give me a hard time about that, right?
So Kylie Edwards going to start things off for Mississippi State here in the bottom half of the third. She takes the first pitch for ball one. Edwards, a ground out to Walker at third base in the first inning. It was that 1-run first for State. And now the 1-0 miss off the inside corner for ball two. So 2-0 the count. Edwards has come on as of late here for Mississippi State. We mentioned her defensive presence, but has been really good offensively, a .330 average. She sends one down the line. Did it stay fair? It did not. That one foul. I thought it was close. Jill Poole actually made the call. And it'll be a foul ball, make it 2-1 the count. That one was very close, went to the left of the bag, just to the left of the bag. I thought it got over, but apparently it went just to the left of the bag there at third.
To me and to Donald Brown, I believe, it looked like it went right over the Brown, but Julie Poole, I mean, the head ump or your home plate umpire, they have the final say.
Yeah. This one misses high, so now a 3-ball count, 3-1. Edwards trying to walk, has drawn 15 this year. Another Bulldog with a plus 400 OBP, sitting at 412. Bulldogs have a really good on-base percentage, 415. That's 30th in the nation. Now she sends one off the glove of Walker, and it'll scoot into shallow left. Updegrove going to grab it. It'll be probably an error by Madison Walker over there at third base. I'm going to say they're going to say there's an error, yes. So she reaches on a fielding error. So Edwards is on, but reaches on error.
Yeah, just unlucky there for Walker. Once again, the ball took an awkward bounce, and it's hard to snag those awkward bounces.
Yeah, an all-dirt infield here at News Park. No turf. So, stuff can take different bounces here in the dirt. It's more straight up in when you're playing on a turf infield. Now, Lexi Sosa will step in. She takes the first pitch for a called strike one. She struck out in her first plate appearance. It was a good AB, just Harrison got the best of her. Sosa sends this one into right field. Ranging back is Abrascato. She'll make the play on the warning track and throw it into the infield. Edwards unable to advance, and that'll retire the Bulldog designated player.
Yeah, just a fast throw in there. Edwards was going to go, but ball got in there fast. This is, as I mentioned earlier, small field. Easy. It's a lot harder to tag up and get to extra bases.
Yeah, definitely from first base as well. You really don't see players tagging up from first a lot, especially if the ball was hitting the right field. So really would have been tough for Edwards to be safe at second base. Morgan Stiles going to step in. She takes the first pitch for a ball. Stiles fly out to Abrascato, who's seen some action today in right field. She flew out in the first. Stiles, a freshman in this order, the only freshman in this order, hitting 300 on the season. Now this one's sent over to Walker. She'll make the play to second, throw over to first. Will they get the double play? They will. They turn it. Walker makes up for the error she made to begin the inning and turns to a 5-4-3 double play, and that'll end the frame for Mississippi State.
Yeah, once again, just unlucky. I mean, that's sports for you. You have some lucky moments, you have unlucky moments, and that was an unlucky moment for the Bulldog offense.
Yeah, so that'll end the frame right there. So it goes, basically, 1, 2, 3, not really, but 3 batters and 3 outs for Missouri in the inning. Edwards reached on a fielding error, and then Sosa with a fly out, and Stiles grounds into a double play. Mississippi State going to go to the top half of the fourth. This game has moved fairly quick, and State holding on to a 3-0 lead here in the top half of the fourth.
Yeah, Yeah, as you said, not your traditional 1-2-3. Personally, I would still count that as a 1-2-3 inning. But you're right. This game has moved pretty fast. Head to the top of the fourth. We're not even an hour past first pitch. Pretty good defensive showing from both teams, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, State has had their share of hits, 4 in the ball game. They've left 2 on base, but Missouri with only 1 hit, and they're sitting now on the 3-hole hitter right now, due up in this top half of the fourth. Chafin, though, has pretty much cruised through this ball game so far. Only 2 runners allowed on base. It was a hit in the second by Hay and a walk by Updegrove.
Yeah. And the scoring, one thing I failed to mention right after the home run, but heading into this game, the Bulldogs had scored 103 runs off of homers this year, so now 105 thanks to that 2-run bomb. And that amounts to 37.5% of their scoring this season, and just under 42% of their RBIs.
Yeah, home runs have been big for State. 54 this year. It's 17th in the nation and 4th in the Southeastern Conference. Yeah, Missouri has also relied on home runs as well for their offensive production. 52, just 2 under Mississippi State. Now, excuse me when I said States, they have 55 now after the home run, but 52 for Missouri. That's 21st in the nation and 5th in the SEC.
Yeah, these teams know how to drive it long.
Now this one driven over to Riley Hull by Abrascato, and Hull going to glove that one, tap on first base, and that'll be out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out in the top half of the fourth.
Yeah, as we said earlier, that's why Hull is in the lineup. She is solid defensively. That's kind of a scary ball, a really hard hit straight at you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough play. I mean, they call the third baseman or the third base spot as the pitch to Ebbs in for a called strike 1, but they call the third base spot the hot corner, but you could say the same thing with first base spot. That's also a hot corner. If a lefty turns on that one or if a righty takes it opposite field right to you, it's coming in hot, and you don't have as much time to react as the middle infielders do. This one's sending to left center field, ranging back is Morgan Bernardini, and Ebbs flies out to left field. So now 3 pitches, 2 outs. Very, very quick work being made of this Missouri Tigers lineup by Bulldog starter Raylan Chafin.
Yeah, and just like pitches, even though these pitchers are only throwing, about 70 miles per hour with their fastball, it's coming in like 100 miles per hour. It comes off the bat, it feels even faster than it actually is because of how short it is.
Standing in is going to be Madison Walker. She takes an off-speed pitch from Chafin in the zone for called strike 1. Walker grounded out to Stiles at first base in the second inning.
One thing I don't understand about home plate umpires is they tend to take their time signaling, strike. Or
yeah, they have. I don't know. It seemed to, as this pitch off-speed again from Chafin. That off-speed is on point tonight, and it's in the strike zone for strike 2, so no 2 account. But to your point, the umpires have been fairly slow with how they want to call strikes this year. It's felt like it's gotten slower over the years.
It's almost like the ball is already in the pitcher's hands by the time they signal.
Now this one popped up to Kylie Edwards, and she will make the grab. A 1-2-3 inning for Mississippi State and their defense. Missouri goes down in order. Only 1 hit for the Tigers through 4 frames, and we will move to the bottom half of the fourth. Mississippi State holding on to a 3-0 lead over the Missouri Tigers.
Yeah. See if they can get their bats, continue getting them hot, continue the scoring after a no-score inning in the third. But going back to the umpires, I feel like if I was an umpire, I'd be dying, strike. It's like, strike 1.
Yeah, you'd just be so quick, quick with it. I understand that. Now, some other action we mentioned, Mississippi State baseball playing tonight in Tuscaloosa. They got things started with a couple of home runs. A 2-run home run by Hunter Hines in the top half of the first, and a double to right center that scored Sawyer Reeves. So State has a 3-0 lead in the top half of the second in Tuscaloosa over the Alabama Crimson Tide. It's a good start for the Diamond Dogs. Mississippi State baseball trying to, coming off a series win versus South Carolina at Dudy Noble Field last weekend, trying to, start to win a little bit more in SEC play. They've struggled to start, but trying to find their groove here in the middle of SEC play.
Yeah, find their groove, as you said, and get that hope back that fans had before the season even started and after opening weekend of, Omaha hopes.
Yeah, hopefully they can turn it around. Going to be a long road, but a good start in Tuscaloosa. We'll keep you updated on that one throughout our coverage of this ball game.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but it's an uphill battle, especially after dropping, three
straight series. Yeah. Been tough. They got swept by Texas, lost 2 to Oklahoma, and swept by LSU, and then lost 1 to South Carolina. So that's 9 SEC losses so far. But trying to win a road series in Tuscaloosa this weekend and stay hot. But back to state softball, it'll be Jessie Blaine who will lead off for MSU here in the bottom half of the fourth. She grounds it over to Walker, makes the throw over to first. That throw pulled Hay off the bag, and first base umpire going to call her safe, Jessie Blaine, but Hay going to want a review here, and she is going to get it.
Yeah, really hard to tell up here if she applied that tag on the helmet. As you said, the throw pulled her off of the base, kind of directly into the lane. As she passed right by, couldn't tell if Blaine got down fast enough or not.
Call on the field is safe, no tag made. Hay thought she made the tag as she was pulled off of first base to her left and down the line towards home plate. But she thought she got the tag down before Jessie Blaine slid in safely.
Yeah, I have a view of the replay right here, Ty, and it doesn't look like she was so far away from it. That is one of the more obvious safe calls I've seen.
So she is, from what Zach's telling me, going to be safe. And still waiting on the call here. Replays, of course, coming in from Birmingham. All SEC ball games have their reviews through Birmingham. And so here is the call. Blaine going to be safe at first base, and it'll be interesting to see how they score it here. That throw did take Hay up the line and off the bag, so it could be another fielding error for Madison Walker at third base. Already 2 today for the Missouri defense, so we'll see how they score this thing.
Yeah, not surprised if it goes either way.
So Jessie Blaine going to come to the bench. She'll get pinch ran for by Greta Grassel. Has pinch run a lot this year for Mississippi State. Freshman out of Boscobel, Wisconsin. They're going to score that a throwing error by Madison Walker. That's her second error and the third of the day for the Missouri defense.
Yeah, Blaine, going back to Blaine, she took a very awkward slide into first base, almost like slammed her chin into the base. That does not feel good at all.
So here's Morgan Bernardini. She'll bunt, puts it right down the third base line. Madison Walker will come in, throw it over to first base for an out, but Bernardini does her job. A sacrifice bunt that moves Greta Grassel to second base and in scoring position with 1 out in the inning for Mississippi State.
Yeah, does her job, and it was a really, really good bunt. And it's hard to lay down a bunt and get on base, but she was pretty close. I mean, it was an obvious out call, but still pretty close in my opinion.
Yeah, you said a good bunt, a textbook bunt right there, putting it right on the third base line, and exactly what you want in a sacrifice bunt. Now State going to have a pinch hitter here for Riley Hull. They're going to put Paige Ernstis in, another freshman for State out of New Palestine, Indiana, New Palestine High School, number 41 in her 2024 class, and the number 21 catcher in the country coming out of high school. She's been pretty good for Mississippi State this year. She grounds this one just to the right of the circle, and it's going to be an out. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Ernstis, unfortunately, not able to move Grassel over and not able to score Grassel.
Unfortunate, just weak contact, but saw the pitch well, just a tad bit high.
So now in comes Kiara Sells, bottom of the order. She homered back in the second inning that pushed State's lead to 3. So she looks to get a 2-out RBI here in the bottom of the fourth. This one fouled off the netting for strike 1. Now that home run, Zach, was a home run with 2 outs. So, you know, she got another chance here with a runner in scoring position to do some damage and extend State's lead with 2 outs in the inning.
Yes, she does. And interesting thing, Ty, heading this season, she'd only had 10 at-bats in the prior 2 seasons before, this is her 107th, 106th at-bat this season? Oh, yeah, 106 at-bats. So before this season, just hadn't had a lot of at-bats, but she's taken advantage this season. 34 hits, 32 runs, and 31 RBIs.
Sells sends this one into left field. I don't know that it's going to get deep enough, and it will not. Watkins will camp under it and make the grab just in front of the warning track for out number 3. So State got a runner to second base off of a nice sacrifice bunt from Morgan Bernardini. Ernstus, though, grounds out, and Kiara Sells flies out to left, and State goes scoreless in the bottom half of the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, one error by Missouri, and 1 left on base for Mississippi State. We'll take a short break and move to the top half of the fifth. Mississippi State has a 3-0 lead over the Missouri Tigers. You're listening to Mississippi State softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network.
Can't hold us like the ceiling can't hold us back. This is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us, like the ceiling can't hold us. But so we put our hands up. But so we put our hands up.
Back here on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network, State leading Missouri 3-0 as we move to the top half of the fifth. Raylan Chafin still in the circle for State, but a little bit of a defensive change for the Bulldogs. Now, I failed to mention this last inning, but she did come in last inning as well and is catching this inning. Ella Wesolowski behind the plate for Mississippi State. So it's Chafin and Wesolowski. And then the rest of the battery for State, Barbary at third, Edwards at short, Stiles at second, Hull at first, Kalani Sells in left, so that's another defensive change for State.
Yeah, those are 2 changes you see pretty much every game. I think it'd be safe to say is the catcher and left field change for the Bulldogs.
And Sacco in center and Kiara Sells still in right field. So stepping in will be Abby Hayes. She had a single over the head of Morgan Stiles in her first plate appearance in the second. The first pitch to her is a ball.
Yeah, the lone hit today for the Tigers coming from her, as you said, it was a perfect hit. Just over the head of Stiles, but just short, kind of held up by the wind. So Kiara Sells was unable to come help.
This one fouled to the netting above the Missouri bench, so the count now 1-1. But hey, a sophomore in her freshman season was a all-SEC second teamer. So she had a fantastic, as she fouls this one back to the screen, but had a fantastic freshman year, but is, kind of tapered off this year, hadn't played as many games, has played 31 of the 42 Missouri's played, only a 170 or 188 batting average, but was a second-team All-SEC member last season. Pitch to Hay misses just outside for ball 2. She stands in the right-handed batter's box. She awaits a 2-2 from Raylan Chafin. She kind of check swings and makes contact with this one, hits it over to Barbary. Barbary makes a play off balance running in for out number 1. Good play by Nadia Barbary, chasing that one in and on the foul line.
This infield for the Lady Bulldogs they're fantastic. They're very talented, very athletic, make incredible plays like that on a daily basis, it seems like.
So now Madison Updegrove will step in. She walked in the second inning. First pitch to her does not catch the inside corner. And that'll be ball 1. Jill Poole, home plate umpire, again, has not given too much leeway on the inside corner of the plate. That would be the inside corner for a righty, outside corner for a lefty. And she gives leeway to the right-handed Updegrove's outside corner for strike 1, but hasn't really given the inside corner pitches to any pitcher in this ballgame.
That's a very hard corner to call, as some players crowd the line, others don't.
Now this one grounded hard to Nadia Barbary, and she makes the second play as well as the first play of the inning. A throw over to first base retires Updegrove, and now 2 outs in the inning for the Missouri offense.
Yeah, what I mean by saying crowd, it's based on how the batter lines up. Some batters will be farther away from the plate, others will be closer. So that's kind of one of the hardest corners to call, but at least she's consistent.
So Missouri will pinch hit for Sophie Smith. They'll bring in Abby Wilhelm, a freshman out of Lee's Summit, Missouri, Blue Springs South High School. She'll step in for Smith, takes the first pitch for a called strike 1.
Once again, the late strike calls make us think it's going to be a ball, and then all of a sudden she's just like, psych, strike 1.
Wilhelm, as I mentioned, a freshman. And the 0-1-2er misses outside for ball 1. Sun just starting to set here in Starkville. 7:14 Central Time here. And this one fouled back, and it'll head over to the tennis center behind the softball complex here in News Park. And so a 1-2 count on the Tigers freshman and Wilhelm.
No, yeah, but as you said, Ty, the sun's set. It's gotten a bit chilly out here tonight. Maybe need of a jacket for some. Others, I'd say toughen it out, but it's not really toughen.
Off-speed pitch in there for a called strike 3, and that'll end the Tigers' top half of the 5th inning. Mississippi State's pitching and defense once again fantastic this inning.
It was
that'll
great.
That'll end the top half of the 5th. Another 1-2-3 inning for Mississippi State's defense and pitching staff. Let's talk about what you've thought about State when they've been on the field here, out in the field playing defense. What have you thought from the Bulldogs so far here as we move to the bottom half of the 5th, State with a 3-0 lead?
I mean, it's been great, as you said, and it all starts with the pitching. The Bulldogs are lucky to have Taryn Mowat McKinney. Mowat, like mowing your yard, as they told us to say it, but she's transformed this pitching attack by the Bulldogs. They have thrown 37 complete games since she arrived, total 28 before heading into the 24-25 season and then this season. And Chafin has been the star of it. She has thrown about, I think now 140 strikeouts on the season. Does that sound about right?
She's got 141 strikeouts.
41,
on the
okay.
season.
Miscount one there. But she was named to the NFCA National Pitcher of the Week back in February. And Mowat McKinney has coached state pitchers to 4 national weekly honors. So the pitching is what starts the defense. If you can have good pitching, get strikeouts, get bad contact, it sets everything else up. But when there has been some good contact, some tough plays that the infield and outfielders need to do, they need to complete, they do it. They're up to the challenge. They're biting at the bit. I mean, you saw it from Barbary in the top of the 5th, that off-balance grab over to first for out 1. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, defense has been great. But, yeah, the pitching has been great, and it's been Raylan Chafin, but it's also been, Delaney Everett. Delaney Everett's been great. We'll probably see her tomorrow as well, and then probably back to Raylan Chafin for Game 3. But, Everett has been great. She's towards the top of the SEC in a couple of categories statistically. So is Raylan Chafin. So it's a good pitching staff that's coached by Taryn Moat McKinney. Sierra Sacco going to step in, top half of the order for Mississippi State. She fouls the first pitch, back for strike 1.
Yeah, and I mean, you talked about seeing Delaney Everett tomorrow. Great pitcher on her own, and then Chafin probably Sunday. That hasn't worked out over the past couple of series for the Bulldogs. Looking back at the Texas series, Chafin threw 160 total pitches through the first 2 games of the series, and then she started on Sundays, and Texans just tore her apart.
Sacco sends this one to the backhand of Updegrove. She makes the play and the throw over for out number 1. Good play by the Tiger shortstop. And so Nadia Barbary will step in. 1 for 2 in the ball game today. RBI double in the first inning and a fly out to Abrascato and right in the second.
Yeah, but so the starting Chafin on Sunday, it's not a terrible idea, but depending on how many pitches she throws today and tomorrow, probably not the smartest idea. As you see a pitcher a lot, you're able to read the pitches better, make better contact.
First pitch from Harrison, who's still in the circle for Missouri, is going to miss for ball 1. 1-0 fouled down the line, evens the count at 1-1. 1 out in the inning. State with a 3-0 lead over Missouri in the bottom half of the 5th. Be interesting to see what State does on Sunday. Chafin, the way she's pitching right now, she's absolutely dominating. And has only thrown 66 if you're concerned with pitch count. But I think the way she's pitching right now, you can at least try her on Sunday. As this one misses for a ball, 2-1 to count. But you could try her on Sunday, right? But the way she's pitching tonight, she might throw another complete game and, might save your bullpen for tomorrow and for Sunday. But before Sunday, you got to win tonight. You got to win Game 2.
Yes, that is for sure. And I'm not opposed to seeing her on Sunday at all, but I'd love to see some more Josie Marin. The couple games she's pitched throughout the season, she's done a tremendous job. Delaney Everett, I'm 99% sure we'll see her tomorrow, but just kind of mix up the lineup a bit, especially against a team like Missouri.
Now the 2-1 miss for a ball, and Julia Crenshaw is coming to the circle to talk with pitcher Sierra Harrison. And now they'll break, and we'll get back to action in just a moment. But a 3-1 count on Nadia Barbary, looking to draw her 15th walk on the season. Here's a 3-1. Foul just down the third base line. And that'll run the count full at 3-2. Now you talk about who we might see for State tomorrow. But with Missouri, you'll most likely see Marissa McCann, who leads the Tigers with 112 2/3 innings pitched. That is most likely who you'll see tomorrow. Both Harrison and McCann are really the bona fide starters for Mizzou. Here's the 3-2. Barbary sends this one in the left center, ranging back as Linger all the way back to the wall, and she makes the grab as her shoulder hits the wall for out number 2. Gave that one a decent ride. Wind not really much of a factor anymore, barely blowing, if any. And that one was fairly easy play for Linger, just ranging back towards the wall.
Yeah, great contact. No wind, as you said, so that doesn't play a factor into it. I just wish you could get a bit more carry under it there for Barbary, but good hit nonetheless.
Then steps Kylie Edwards, 0 for 2 in the ball game. And the first pitch to her will hit the inside corner for strike one. Edwards has hit pretty well in SEC play, 12 for 34, and has reached base in 10 of the 12 SEC games played by Mississippi State this season. Edwards will send one into right center, gives that one a really good ride, and it is gone, a home run. Kylie Edwards, that one smashed into right center field. And a tank gives Mississippi State a 4-0 lead. Everett rounding the bases, shakes hands with Coach Tyler Bratton, greeted by our teammates at home. Bulldogs 4, Tigers 0.
That was well hit off the bat, and I think most of the Bulldog fans, Kylie Edwards herself, knew that had a pretty high chance of going. Had the wind been blowing, it probably would have gotten held up, but thanks to the no wind, carried over the wall. And as you said, 4-0 lead here for the Bulldogs, one away from that magic number.
That magic number being 5. Ella Wesolowski going to step in for Mississippi State, hitting for Lexi Sosa. Sosa was 0 for 2 in the ball game, so Wesolowski going to get a chance. She fouls this one into the Missouri dugout for strike one. Wesolowski went 1 for 5 in that Tennessee series. A strikeout in that series. Hasn't played as much this season. Well, missed 15 games after the opening ball game against Texas Tech, so just hasn't played as much as she did in the last couple of seasons, or in the last season. She's a sophomore. Played 52 out of the 54 ball games for State last year and hit .318, which was second on the team.
Kind of that sophomore slump for her, something that softball and all sports are far too familiar with.
Count at 1-1 and now 2-1 as pitch from Harrison misses in the dirt. Yeah, that average at 152, 33 at bats, 5 hits on the season for Wesolowski. Just unfortunately just got injured in that Texas Tech game, had to come out and miss 15 games. He's trying to get back in a groove here. Now the 2-1 misses just off the outside corner. Count 3-1 now. State trying to draw a 2-out walk. They lead the game 4-0. Kylie Edwards with that solo shot over the E in State in center field to give the Bulldogs a 4-0 lead. Now this one's sent into left field, and a play will not be made. Foul ball right there.
Yeah, straight into the Bulldog bullpen, and falls harmlessly to the ground. As Wesolowski will look to get the Bulldogs to that magic number of 5.
Wesolowski mentioned a sophomore out of Williamsville, New York. Williamsville East High School. She pops this one straight in the air. Ranging in is going to be Abby Hay, and she'll make the play to the left of the pitching circle, and that'll end the bottom half of the 5th for MSU. State does not go scoreless, though. 1 run on a home run by Kylie Edwards. No errors from Missouri, and nobody left on base for Mississippi State. We will go to a break. Mississippi State with a 4-0 lead over Missouri as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network.
And all my people say, that's right. Feels good. And all my people say, talk to 'em, right? And all my people say, man, we go back. This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like
Back here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network, Mississippi State with a 4-0 lead over the Missouri Tigers here in game one of this 3-game series between these two SEC foes. State trying to make up for the series loss last season. Lost 2 out of 3 to the Tigers. Trying to at least win 2 out of 3 here and improve that SEC record, which stands at 7-5 right now.
Yeah, the last time Missouri was here in Starkville was 2022. They won that game in 8 innings, 8-5, after Mississippi State took the first 2 games. But the last time they won a series was in 2014. They won the opener 6-0 before dropping game 2 and securing the final 8-1 in the 3rd game. And head coach Larissa Anderson of the Tigers is 7-6 in her career against State.
I hope State can make that a losing record during this series. Raylan Chafin still in the circle for State, and she's pitching to the bottom half of the order right now, or last hitter in the order in Nevaeh Watkins. Watkins fouls the first pitch back for strike 1. Watkins 0 for 1 with a fly out to Bernardini in left field in the 3rd. Now an off-speed pitch, which has hit a lot today, hit the strike zone a lot, hits for strike 2. 0-2 count on the Tigers freshman.
Yeah, those off-speed pitches seem to always catch the Tigers off guard, coming at the perfect moments from Chafin.
Here's the 0-2 from Chafin. Fouled back off the screen. Good catch, Ella Wesolowski off the screen. Too bad it doesn't count. She'll throw it back to Raylan Chafin, and we'll do the 0-2 again.
I know this doesn't pertain to right now, but do you think they should incorporate something like banana ball, where if a fan catches it, it counts as an out?
I think that would be not a good idea. I'm just going to be upfront with you. Be upfront with you about that one. I don't know about that idea, Zach.
Well, I mean, in softball, that rarely happens, a fan catching a ball.
I don't know. I say no. Let's keep the rules the way they are.
Just thought I'd ask, get your opinion on it.
Now the 0-2 miss for a ball, so 1-2 to count. Chafin looking to strike out Watkins to get her 4th K of the night. Watkins still battling, though, fouls this one above the Bulldog dugout and off the screen. So 1-2 to count. No outs in the inning. Watkins, the leadoff hitter from Missouri. A 143 average on the season. The Tigers trail 4-0 to the Bulldogs. Here's the 1-2 from Chafin. Fouled softly off the net behind home plate, and Watkins staying alive here.
Tigers doing a good job all throughout this game, just staying alive, somehow finding the contact to foul it off, even if they didn't want to swing.
They've done a good job of staying alive, but, Raylan Chafin has just gotten the best of them. She has been fantastic tonight. Tiger hitters 1 for 16 in the ball game. Edwards going to grab a ground ball and throw it over to first base. Watkins grounds out to Edwards for out number 1.
I know we talked about this before we started the broadcast, Ty, but the past 2 SEC series, Chafin's kind of had her confidence shaken, not doing the best as we talked in the pregame. Do you think so far that confidence is back?
I would say so. The way she's pitched tonight, yeah, I would say so. She's pitched really, really well. So hopefully that can continue throughout the back half of SEC play. Julia Crenshaw will step in, the leading hitter for the Tigers on the season, and she's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout, 1 of Chafin's 3, and a flyout to Sacco in center field. First pitch misses for a ball, and here is the 1-0. This is outside for ball 2, so a 2-ball count on Julia Crenshaw. Crenshaw went 2 for 3 in the ball game against Southern Illinois on Wednesday. She fouls this one hard off the netting of the Bulldog dugout for strike 1, so 2-1 the count, but went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs in the game on Wednesday versus Southern Illinois. Had 2 of Missouri's 5 hits. Not an SEC game, but another game where they struggled offensively.
Yeah. And interesting stat here about Chafin. So she has had probably the best start for a pitcher.
Now this one's sitting in the center field, ranging back as Sacco. She'll make the play on the warning track for out number 2. Continue, Zach.
Yeah, but she has had probably the best start for a Bulldog pitcher, at least statistically. She started with 7 consecutive win appearances. No other Bulldog pitcher has gone that long, and she went 25 innings pitched without allowing a run, an earned run.
She had a really good start to the season in Clearwater. Really pitched well. Had a good game against a ranked team in Texas Tech as Linger steps in and fouls the first pitch out of play. But, had a good week in Clearwater to open up the season. And as I mentioned, earlier, a transfer out of LSU and a senior. Had been with LSU for 3 years. It racked up 53 appearances, well over 100 strikeouts in her 3 years for the Fighting Tigers. So she was really good, and this 0-1 misses high. But a thing that, it's good to talk about, the resilience of her, and we talk about the resilience of her pitching-wise here in the back half of the SEC season. So here's the 1-1. It's snagged by Barbary on a dive to her right, and she throws it over to first for out number 3. A lot of applause from the Bulldog crowd. That was a fantastic play, Zach.
That was phenomenal. She just kind of throws herself on the ground, throws the glove, able to snag it, gets up, fires it over to first. I mean, standing round of applause for her, as you said.
Well, I mean, the deal about that was is she was playing in on Linger, expecting maybe a slap or maybe a bunt from the 2-hole hitter from Missouri. So that made the play even tougher. That was a hot shot to her, and it was great play made by Barbary. But we'll stay right here for this bottom half, or as we move to the bottom half of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base from Missouri. 4-0 Dogs as we go to the bottom half of the 6th. State will have 5, 6, and 7 due up. But back, talking about Raylan Chafin, you talk about her resiliency, right? Of seeing if she can be resilient as she as we push through the back half of SEC play. But an interesting thing about her is, when she got here in the fall, this is her first year here in Starkville, right? And then she's diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and that is something crazy in itself, right? Something unprecedented. And just talk about how she battled back from that, Zach.
Yeah, well, I mean, thyroid cancer, it's a scary thing to have somebody in your family that has it. My mother actually had thyroid cancer when I was younger, and it was scary. Even though it's one of the least deadly forms of cancer, it's still scary. But I mean, not showing up until end of the 24 year, beginning of 25, she pitched, started getting back into things, and then to start the season off that way with 7 games, 25 innings pitched, no earned runs. I mean, that just shows you just the fight and resilience that she has, and everybody should try and replicate.
Yeah, model their life after what she went through.
Yeah.
I mean, a cancer survivor. She was treated for thyroid cancer, surviving it, and now pitching one heck of a ball game tonight in Game 1 of this series. We'll start off the bottom half of the 6th. Morgan Stiles at bat for Mississippi State. She is 0 for 2 today and misses, or the first pitch misses from a new pitcher from Missouri, Natalie Touche, in the ball game. This is one of her few appearances this season. Touche misses with was that a ball right there? I was looking down.
Yeah, it was a
misses with
low
a ball. Yeah, misses with a ball. So 2-0 count. But Touche, now it's her 12th appearance on the year, so she's pitched a decent amount, right? And now this one misses, and it'll draw a conversation from Julia Crenshaw to her new Tiger pitcher. But Touche, now in her 12th appearance on the season, a 2.68 ERA, has only been credited with 1 loss on the season, no wins, 22 hits in 11 appearances, 9 runs, 6 earned, 6 walks, 3 strikeouts. Opponents are .338 against her. She's a 5'8 sophomore out of Aledo, Texas, Aledo High School.
Yeah, interesting to see what she'll do here as she gets in. But, I mean, as you talked about, Chafin dealing with thyroid cancer, but she's not the only Bulldog player on this roster to face challenges. I mean, Kiara Sells is playing with hearing aids now. One player, Leilani Palumau, she's was forced to medically retire due to a very rare eye disease.
Yeah, so, a lot of Bulldogs showing some resiliency. Styles going to head to first base. She has walked, and now Jessie Blaine will re-enter for Greta Grassel, and she's going to bat. Now, Coach Samantha Ricketts will talk to our home plate umpire here just to make sure she's just re-entering Jessie Blaine right there. That's all that is. So Blaine will re-enter. But State with a leadoff walk and 1 runner on first base with nobody out in the inning. Bottom of the 6th, State up 4-0.
Yeah, Blaine coming back in. I'm going to presume the main reason she was out for those couple innings was because of that awkward slide in the first base back in the second or third.
It was in the fourth. The fourth inning, where she advanced on a throwing error, as the first pitch to her misses low for ball 1, but advanced on an error, and now get a conversation. The head coach from Missouri will come out and talk with Natalie Touche. But, Blaine reached on an error back in the 4th inning and had that awkward slide where she slid under Abby Hay at first base, and then she ended up coming out, getting pinch run for by Greta Grassel. But she's back in now and hitting for the Bulldogs. Now we'll break here and get some play in just a moment. We'll go meanwhile in Tuscaloosa, give you a little update on that. State baseball now with a 4-1 lead heading to the bottom half of the 4th over Alabama. Now the 1-0 pitch misses high and out for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Back-to-back walks would be big trouble for Missouri. Trying to get out of this with as little damage done as possible. Only 1 frame left, and this one is a wild pitch. Going to get out of the glove of Crenshaw, get back to the backstop, and advancing to second is going to be Morgan Stiles. So danger here for Missouri.
I mean, it's hard being a young pitcher. She's a sophomore, as you mentioned when you introduced her, but being a young pitcher here in News Park, which isn't one of the easiest places to play as an away team. Bit of nerves, and she's just got to calm down and get back in this for the Tigers.
A 3-0 pitch misses low for ball 4. 4-pitch walk from Natalie Touche to Jessie Blaine. And back-to-back walks in this bottom half of the 6th. Now 4 runs would give Mississippi State the win. It'd be an 8-run rule, and that would end things here early if State's able to add some more runs. Kalani Sells is going to step in, and she'll get an at-bat for Mississippi State. First pitch to her is going to catch the zone for strike 1. But Sells, the sister of Kiara Sells, she'll show bunt and foul it back to the backstop for strike 2. So might not show bunt again with a 2-strike count. If you foul off a bunt with 2 strikes, that's going to be a strikeout. But limited at bats this year for Kalani. Only her 6th now on the season. Hasn't had a hit this year. Has walked once. Getting some action here in this ball game. She sends it to center field. Linger going to make the catch and throw it into the infield. Nobody will tag for Mississippi State, so kind of an unproductive out right there. Sells going to be retired and sent back to the dugout.
Yeah, Styles acted like she was heading for third, maybe to try and get a wild throw there. But going back to what I said about News Park being a hard place to win, since 2016, the Bulldogs are 200 wins and 80 losses here, which is about 71% winning
Win
record.
percentage.
Win
yeah.
percentage, yes.
Yeah, it's pretty daggum good right there. Definitely would rather be at home if you had the option of playing anywhere. Want to have your home field advantage. Riley Hull going to step in for State. She showed bunt, took it back, but it was a called strike, so 0-1 count on her. She had a plate appearance. It doesn't register as one, or it doesn't register as an at-bat. She walked in the second. Now this 0-1 going to also catch the strike zone for a called strike 2.
I mean, you not only want the home field advantage, but it's great to have a lot of your fans there watching you play and cheering you on. When you have lots of fans, it gives you that extra energy and adrenaline that you need sometimes.
Well, the 0-2 misses outside. Gives Hull, Hull a chance to breathe a little bit. And this one up and in for ball 2, evens the count up. 2-2 count. Runners at first and second. Blaine is at first and Siles are at second. They both drew leadoff walks to start this inning. Hull sends this one over to second base. Wilhelm going to toss over, and the ball is dropped out of the glove of Updegrove, and they're going to call that one just a no catch. It's not on the transfer, and Blaine's going to be safe over there at second base. So the bases are loaded on the 4th fielding error of the day for the Missouri Tigers.
Yeah, that's unlucky. At first glance, when you're watching it, it looks like on the transfer, my umpire over there, Donald Brown, has a much better look, and it was on the bobble. The bobble, I mean, she wasn't able to corral it in the glove fully.
Yeah. So it's going to be bases loaded for State, and Kiara Sells is going to step in. But just unfortunate for Missouri. Updegrove couldn't grab that softball, and even if she doesn't, get the out at first base, at least you get a force out there at second, puts 2 outs in the inning. So here's Kiara Sells, and the first pitch to her just misses the inside corner, a little bit inside for ball 1.
Well, not just that, puts even more pressure on this young pitcher. Bases loaded. She walks another one, and that's a run scored here in the 6th.
Pitch misses high to Sells for ball 2. So, nowhere to put Sells. Sells has drawn 16 walks on the season, but has also drawn a lot of hit-by pitches at 14. And the pitch from Touche is in there for a called strike 1, so 2-1 the count. But a home run here would end things. Walk-off home run, it would be a 4-run shot to make it 8-0. Now Sells sends this one in the air, back to center field, back at the wall, caught at the base of the wall. Tagging is going to be Styles. Blaine is also going to tag. Styles scores, and runners are at the corners with 2 outs in the inning. Zach, did I not almost just call that one?
Ty, I think you almost called it to existence, but you very well could have also caused that ball to hold up a bit, like it almost heard you.
That ball was 3 feet from getting out of here.
Less than 3 feet. It was
maybe
probably
1. Maybe 1 foot from getting out of here.
I was going to say
caught
6
that
inches.
She caught that at the top of the wall.
She hit the wall, so
Yeah.
literally 6 inches away.
That was close. Sells almost, had her second home run of the ball game. So
In the walk-off.
in
for
walk-off fashion, exactly.
Yeah.
Sierra Sackle will step in. Runners at the corners for State. 2 outs in the inning. Still a chance to win it right here. And Let's Go State chants all around News Park. Sacco 2 for 3 in a game. A chance to maybe win it here. She fouls this one over to the Missouri dugout for strike 1. So 1-1 the count.
This would kind of be, like the ending to a story right here. Your best hitter walks it off to end game 1.
Yeah. She's had a great day today as well. Been great in the leadoff spot for State. State only 5 hits today. their damage has been done a lot on home runs as this one misses low and out. 2 home runs for State today. Edwards with a solo shot. And Kiara Sells with a 2-run shot. That counts for 3 of the 5 runs. So, a lot of it's just been on home runs, and that's about it. So, State hadn't hit it as much, but they, when Raylan Chafin pitches like she's been pitching, you don't have to hit it crazy.
Right, and when you start off fast like they normally do, great pitching allows you to hold on to that lead. And just the batters don't feel like they have to force swings. Pitchers don't feel like they have to force stuff, neither do any of your other defensive players.
It just loosens up things. For defense, like you said, for batters, they feel a little bit more comfortable in the box, don't have to feel as pressed. But a 3-2 count here on Sierra Sacco. 2 outs inning, runners at the corner for State. Sacco, a line drive. It's going to get all the way to the wall in right center field. Scoring is Blaine. Rounding third and scoring is going to be Riley Hull. It's a 2-run double for Sierra Sacco. Her 3rd hit of the ball game. Mississippi State 7, Missouri 0.
1 run away, Ty.
1 run away. I mean, talk about the hit, though. I mean, that one was smoked.
Gosh.
That one was smoked into right center field. Another hit for Sierra Sacco today, her 3rd of the ball game.
I thought for a second Wilhelm over there at second was going to make one of those like Kylie Edwards type of grabs, just laying out, snagging it, but just past the top of her glove as Touche did not have a Touche night.
What is that supposed to mean, Zach?
I don't know. I was dying to put that in there.
You're dying to have a touche pun?
Yes.
Well, you got it. Are you proud of it or no?
It wasn't my best work.
Wasn't your best? I can understand that.
But no, yeah, that was a great hit by Sacco, and I think that was a better celebration. Hit a little sprinkler.
Yeah, I like that. That was pretty good. Now, go ahead.
What was your go-to celebration when you were playing ball?
I didn't hit very many doubles. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not going to lie to you. I told you it's a sore subject. You should know this by now. Now, Missouri has a new pitcher into the ball game. It's going to be J.C. Cruz, senior right-hander out of Santa Margarita Catholic High School, Coto de Caza, California. 4 appearances on the season, a 1.91 ERA, and 3 2/3 innings pitched for the Tigers right-hander.
Yeah, Tigers going deep in their bullpen, just trying to figure out some way to stop this electric Bulldog offense and keep this game from finishing early.
Now, Sacco, with that double, that's her 16th of the year, but coming into the series, she had 15. She's 24th in the nation and 2nd in the SEC. Just another double to add on to that tally. I mean, she has been fantastic for State this year. Not just Mississippi State, but I mean, in terms of Mississippi State, but in terms of just in the country, she has been fantastic.
Yeah, we are very lucky to have her on the team here. That is for sure.
So Barbary will step in. She sends a blooper down the line in right field. It's just foul. That would have ended the game, but it just is foul. And so Barbary going to head back to the batter's box. Sacco going to head back to second base.
Just a tad bit too much backspin, I guess. I guess that's what you call it, backspin that in the air that forces it foul.
Yeah, it was just tailing too much right, really. Just tailing a little bit too much right. It was very close, though. Very close. So here's the 0-1 to Barbary. All-speed pitch. Did it catch the inside corner? No, it didn't. So count 1-1 to the Bulldog third baseman. 1 for 3 today. Started things off for State in the first with an RBI double that scored Sierra Sacco. So how fitting would that be if she gets an RBI double to end the ball game and score Sierra Sacco again?
That would be awesome. That would be quite awesome, Ty.
Barbary fouls this one as well over to the right side. So 1-2 the count with Sacco at second base and 2 outs in the inning. State leads 7-0 here, looking to take game 1 over Missouri. Here's the 1-2. sent softly over to Wilhelm at second base. She makes the throw over to first, and we will head to the top half of the 7th. State unable to get that 8th run across, but State scores 3 runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and they leave 1 on base in Sierra Sacco in the bottom half of the 6th. We'll go to the top half of the 7th, where it's Raylan Chafin looking for another complete game this season. We'll take a short break, and we will be back for the top half of the 7th. It's Mississippi State 7, Missouri 0. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network.
Woke up on the right side of the bed. What's up with this Prince song inside my head? Hands up if you're down to get down tonight. 'Cause it's always a good time. Slept in all my clothes like I didn't care. Hopped into a cab, take me anywhere.
Good.
I'm in.
Back here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network, Mississippi State 7, Missouri 0 as we move to the top half of the 7th. Some scores around the league in SEC softball, Auburn and Georgia facing off in Auburn, Alabama this weekend. Game 1, Auburn winning 8-7 over Georgia right now in the bottom half of the 5th. LSU and Texas A&M facing off in College Station. Aggies are up 11-5 in the bottom half of the 5th in Game 1. Florida and Ole Miss going against each other in Oxford. Florida up 8-7 in the top half of the 5th. Arkansas hosting South Carolina. They're up 6-2. Arkansas is in the top half of the 6th. And I believe, and then we also have 2 finals. Kentucky with a doubleheader today against Boston University. 2 wins for them. And then later tonight, prime time, ESPNU, Tennessee, number 5 in the country, facing the number 1 Texas Longhorns in Austin.
That's going to be a game to watch. I might go home after this and turn that on.
Yeah, that should be a dandy in Austin. New members of the SEC, Texas hosting Tennessee tonight. So Raylan Chafin still out there for MSU. She throws the first pitch to Abrascato in the top of the 7th for a strike, and now this one lined back up the middle and into center field, so a leadoff single for Missouri to start things here in the top half of the 7th. First hit of the day for Abrascato, and only the second hit of the day for the Missouri Tigers.
You know what's interesting, Ty?
What's that?
The SEC has 12 of the 16 teams ranked in the top 25 for softball.
12 of the 15, I'll correct you.
15.
Yeah, which makes it better. Vanderbilt does not have a
Oh,
softball
15, that's
program.
right. Yeah, I forgot about Vandy.
But,
12 out of 15.
Now this one hit softly by Ebbs. Coming in and making the play is going to be Hull for out number 1. Abrascato obviously not moving there, so that'll retire Ebbs and put 1 out in the inning. But yeah, like you mentioned, 12 of the 15 teams in the SEC ranked. It's around that number as well with SEC baseball, with 11 out of the 16 ranked. A swing and a miss from Walker here, who's 0 for 2 today. But yeah, just every series is a gauntlet for Mississippi State and every SEC team this season.
Yeah, and that's just been a story all year round for 24 to 25 SEC sports: football, basketball, both men's and women's, baseball, softball. I think even tennis, they've got quite a few ranked SEC teams.
Now, Walker fouls the second one down the line over at third base. That'll make the count 0-2. 1 out in the inning, and Abrascato at first base. She led off with a single right back up the middle to lead off the inning.
And I failed to mention soccer. Soccer as well, they had, I think, majority, even more than the rest of the sports in top 25.
Now this one's sent into left field and going to get out of play, a foul ball into the Bulldogs bullpen. But yeah, soccer, obviously, Mississippi State soccer, their best season ever this year. Number 1 in the country, a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, winning the SEC regular season title for the first time in program history. Hopefully they can, repeat that. But State with a 7-0 lead here in the top half of the seventh. A throwback on the pitch that missed out. Wesolowski behind the plate now on the throwback not in time to first base. So the count 1-2 with Abrascato maybe now a little bit more cautious there at first base.
Yeah, no, but going back to soccer, those were fun games to watch, and I was lucky enough to call two of the NCAA women's soccer tournament games with John, and that was fun.
An off-speed pitch will strike out Walker, fourth strikeout of the night for Raylan Chafin. And now 2 outs in the inning for Mississippi State, and Abby Hay going to step in for Missouri, trying to keep this thing alive for the Tigers.
Were you able to call any soccer this past season?
No, I was not. Wasn't able to call any soccer, but I went to a couple of the ball games.
Maybe next season, Ty.
Maybe next season. Hay gonna foul the first one back to the net for strike one. She 1 for 2 today. Had that single in the second inning. Was the lone hit of the night for Missouri until just this inning with Abrascato's single in center field. Here's the 0-1 to Hay. It catches the outside corner for strike two, and we are 1 strike away here from a Bulldog win in game 1.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Ty. 1 strike away. Let's see if Chafin can end the game with a strikeout.
Maroon and white chants bellowing out here at News Park. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Chafin. All speed in the dirt, misses. 1-2 the count now. Trying to get Hay to chase at that one. So 1-2 the count. Mizzou down to their last out and their last strike of the ball game. Here's the 1-2. Pitch misses high. Wesolowski was looking to throw back to first, but Hull was not going back to cover the bag, so just no throw back to first. The pitch missed up high for ball 2. So Deuce is on the board here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs.
Yeah, besides a strike, another good out to end the game would be a pickoff. The Bulldog catchers that combined for 6 compared to the next closest SEC team, which has 2.
Here's the 2-2 misses just inside for ball 3. So after going down 0-2, Hay has fought back. 3 balls now in the count. Trying to stay alive here from Missouri. Here's the full count pitch. Fouled off the netting to the right side. And we'll do it again here, 3-2.
Yeah. I know Wesolowski's behind the plate right now, but Blaine is 1 pickoff away from tying the MSU single-season record, and Wesolowski is 4th with 4 career pickoffs, so 2 away.
Here's the 3-2 once more. Off-speed pitch. Forget about it. That's ball game. Mississippi State wins it. Raylan Chafin strikeout, her 5th of the night, ends her night. She goes for another complete game on the season, her 13th, and Mississippi State opens the series versus Missouri with a 7-0 win over the Tigers.
Those off-speed pitches all night, that's what got the Tigers offense, and that was a dominant win to get back in the win column and hopefully get them another series win after dropping back-to-back SEC series.
So Mississippi State wins it 7-0 over Missouri. Final line score here we'll start with Missouri. No runs in any of the 7 innings tonight in which they batted. No runs scored, obviously. 2 hits, 4 errors for the Tigers defensively tonight, and 3 Tigers left on base. For Mississippi State, a run in the first, 2 runs in the second, no runs in the third and the fourth, a run in the 5th, and 3 in the 6th inning. It was 7 total runs for Mississippi State tonight, 6 hits, no errors for the Bulldog defense, an excellent defensive and pitching night for State, and they leave 4 on base. That's the final line score. The final score is 7-0 Mississippi State over Missouri. We'll be back in just a moment for the post-game show. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough.
won't stop now. Keep your hands up, get them in the sky for the homies that ain't making it, my folks locked down. I never went nowhere. What they saying, loot is back. Blame it on that contour. The hood call it Ludiac. And I'm on this foolish track, so I spit my foolish flow. My hands go up and down like strippers' booties go. My verses still be serving, tight like a million virgins. Last time on a college remix, now I'm on the original version. Can't never count me out, y'all better count me in. Got 20 bank accounts, accountants count me in. Make millions every year, the South champion. Cause all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get it up. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there. Swerving in my low-low, head on the swivel, you know serving me's a no-no. Clean as a whistle as I pull out in my Rolls Royce. Yellow bone passenger, they see it, they say, oh boy. Tell Kelly, back it up, my call me loco. Down for armed trafficking, don't make me pull up. Ask you what you laughing at, represent that mud life. Dirty money, better get your mud right. We come together holding hands and holler Lord life. We all strapping all black, it's like life. You riding or what? Cause we riding tonight. Now she riding with me cause you wasn't riding. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get it up. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Heat in the kitchen, hot on the stove, water getting boiled. Being sold, Snoopy in the hookie, system overload. I've been running this rap game since I was 20 years old. I hung with the worst of them, bust till I burst them up, floss them up, toss them up, hard away, close them up. Pardon me, I'm bossing up, fresh it up, bless you, bro, don't mess with us. We like the U in the 80s, back to back, set a track, hit the lick, get it back, hit the trick, jump the track. Want my money back, time and time again, while I'm sipping on this gin. Al Davis said it best, just win, baby, win.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind.
Back on the post-game show here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network, Mississippi State winners over Missouri here in game 1, 7-0. Raylan Chafin with the win, moves to 17-6 on the season. Sierra Harrison with the loss now moves to 9-7 on the season for Missouri. Final line for Harrison tonight. She goes 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, giving up 4 runs, all of those earned. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. She faced 22 Bulldog hitters and threw 77 pitches tonight for Missouri. She is credited with the loss. They also had 2 other pitchers tonight. Natalie Touche came in for 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 3 runs, none of them being earned. 2 walks, faced 6 Bulldog batters, and threw 27. J.C. Cruz went 1/3 of an inning, 1 batter faced, and 4 total pitches. Raylan Chafin gets the win tonight, as I mentioned, goes to 17-6 on the season. She final line for her tonight, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs given up at all, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, faced 24 Missouri hitters, and threw 95 pitches. So that is the pitching for Mississippi State and Missouri tonight. Look at how the batting order did for the Bulldogs tonight. Start with Sarah Sacco, who I would say probably the offensive player of the night for Mississippi State. 3 for 4 tonight, 2 RBIs, a double. She had a fantastic night. That average now over 500 at 504. Nadia Barbary went 1 for 4 tonight with an RBI double in the first. Callie Edwards 1 for 4 with a solo home run. Lexi Sosa 0 for 2. Ella Wesolowski went 0 for 1. Morgan Stiles 0 for 2 in the ball game. Did score a run as she walked in the game. Jessie Blaine 0 for 2. Same thing as Morgan Stiles. She scored a run as she walked once in the ball game. Morgan Bernardini 0 for 1 in the game. Kalani Sells got an at-bat tonight. She went 0 for 1, though, unfortunately. Riley Hull 0 for 1 in the game, but scored 2 runs. Walked once in the ball game. Paige Ernstis went 0 for 1 tonight. And Kiara Sells went 1 for 2 tonight and had that 2-run blast in the second to give Mississippi State a 3-0 lead. She's credited with 3 RBIs on the evening for Mississippi State. So State, pretty good night offensively. Not bad. Didn't have to do much tonight with the dominant performance from Raylan Chafin. And I mentioned the line score before, but I'll just go over it for State again. He scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second, none in the third and fourth, and then 1 in the fifth, 3 in the sixth. And then obviously didn't have to bat in that 7th inning. So didn't have to do much. They finished with 6 hits on the night, left 4 on base. Didn't have to do much, especially when you've got Raylan Chafin pitching absolutely, just an amazing night for her tonight pitching, and you don't have to do much to back her up. Talk about, overall, State as a team, a 250 night, 6 of 24. They were really good with 2 outs tonight, 444, 4 for 9. With runners on and runners in scoring position, not as great tonight. Runners in scoring position, State was 1 for 9, and runners on, State was 3 for 14. And that's something I know State struggled with against Tennessee when they did get runners on, at least in games 1 and game 2, or in game 3. Game 2, State had a really good offensive game, but State struggled with that as well all throughout the Texas series. Just unable to score with runners on and have productive at-bats with runners on. So, unfortunately, I say unfortunately, but it's good that at least there was some sort of negative to tonight's performance, and that was, just State's got to be better with runners in scoring position. I don't mind, and I know Zach doesn't either, don't mind, calling a 7-inning game, but this game could have been over in 5 if State, was any better tonight with runners in scoring position. You have 9 attempts. You had 9 chances with runners in scoring position and only scored once. And most of your runs came off of home runs tonight. So State got to do a little bit better with runners on and runners in scoring position. That's something that State will hopefully improve on throughout the series. And that's the one thing I take away from this game as being a negative. And I'm sure, Coach Samantha Ricketts will talk about that tonight and in the locker room, and we'll discuss that all morning tomorrow before, leading up to the ball game tomorrow. I'm sure that'll be discussed as something State can improve upon, but outside of offense, though, a great defensive night for Mississippi State, and no errors tonight for State defensively. Raylan Chafin with a great night, only give up 2 hits. So, State really pitched it well tonight. That hit was in the lone hits were in the 2nd and the 7th innings, and Missouri just really couldn't get anything, anything going at all in the ballgame. It felt like Chafin was just that dominant, and Chafin only with 1 walk tonight, too. So, really good night from her. Good night from the State defense, not making any errors. I'd go back to that Barbary play where she was playing in on third base and dove to her right and made the backhand grab and threw it on over to first base for an out. That's kind of an example of how, fantastic the defense was for State tonight, and how fantastic, the pitching staff was tonight. Is, that last pitch of the ball game, that off-speed pitch, is just a resemblance of how great Raylan Chafin was tonight. That off-speed pitch was a key pitch tonight for the Bulldog ace, and that's how she got to 17 wins on the season tonight. 17-6 now is Raylan Chafin. So Mississippi State moves to 32-10 on the season. Now 8 wins in the conference, 8-5. Missouri now 20-23 and 2-11 in the SEC. State looking to take game 2 tomorrow, hopefully, and then take the series over the Missouri Tigers. To give you a little score update for baseball, Mississippi State up 9-3 now. They've put up a 5 spot in the top half of the 5th inning. State now with 12 hits in the ball game. And Alabama right now making a pitching change. State has Gatlin Sanders at the plate and Bryce Chance at second base with 1 out still in the top half of the 5th. So State trying to go to work here and add some more runs to their tally. But it's been a good offensive night for State so far. And, you know, a decent night for starter Pico Khan so far tonight. Has allowed, 6 hits on 3 runs, but credit to the Bulldog offense. They have backed them up. State's offense, 12 for 24 tonight. So really a fantastic night for the Bulldog offense. And hopefully State can close that one out and win game 1 in Tuscaloosa like their counterparts over here in Starkville. Their softball team won here over Missouri 7-0 in game 1. Looking to take the series tomorrow, which will be broadcasted to you by the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Game 3 will also be broadcasted to you by the Bulldog Student Sports Network. It'll be Zach and I on the call for the entirety of the weekend. We should have the rest of the ball games at home broadcasted for you on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. That Ole Miss series should be brought to you as well here and broadcasted to you, whoever that may be that's broadcasting it. But we for sure will be broadcasting the Ole Miss series here in Starkville to end the season. But we'll have the rest of the ball games of the series here this weekend. And it was definitely a pleasure calling the ball game with you. I know Zach would say the same, or calling the ball game for you, and I know Zach would say the same. He's behind the scenes right now waiting for me to get done talking here on the post-game show. But before I go, make sure to shout out, follow us on Instagram at Bulldog Student Sports Network, and then follow us on Twitter, X, whatever you like to call it. Doesn't matter to me. I call it Twitter. It doesn't matter, though. You do what you want. It's a free country. But follow us on there. The @ is BSSN_MSU, no caps on that. And we, make tweets when we are going to broadcast games and when we're going live pretty soon or around that time. You'll know when we broadcast games. And we also give you, some updates for Mississippi State, just for all Mississippi State athletics. Even if we're not calling the game ourselves, we, give you updates of what's going on in the world of MSU athletics. And then subscribe to us on YouTube for sure. And if you want to like this video, that'd be fantastic. I'm not asking you to like the video, but you can if you want to. Be sure, though, to subscribe to us here on this YouTube channel and ring that bell. I always say this, ringing the bell if you're a State fan is like ringing a cowbell, right? It's a good thing for everybody. It's a good thing for the maroon and white. When you're doing that, you're helping support us, and you will get an instant notification when we go live here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network, so you can listen to Mississippi State athletics wherever you are here on YouTube. But I appreciate you listening tonight. Zach, appreciate you listening tonight. He's sitting behind me, tapping at me because he wants to go eat supper. But we'll get out of here in just a second. But I do appreciate you for tuning in tonight. It was a fantastic night for Mississippi State. Hopefully Mississippi State baseball can continue that tonight and have State baseball and softball both winning on the diamond. But here in Starkville, Mississippi State winners in Game 1 over Missouri, 7-0. Game 2 will be brought to you tomorrow on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. But for now, for Zach Sizemore, I'm Ty Goldman saying, wrap it in maroon and white. Y'all have a great rest of your night, and hail State.